Ladies and gentlemen, you ever notice how some people just love to get on your nerves? Like they wake up in the morning and their first thought is, how can I mess up somebody's day today? You could be having the best day, feeling good, minding your business, then boom, somebody says something slick, somebody does something stupid, and now you're mad. But here's the crazy part. They move on with their day, and you're the one still bothered. You're still thinking about it. You're still replaying it in your head, getting angry about it second. Meanwhile, they're off somewhere eating lunch, watching TV, and not even thinking about you. So tell me, who's really losing here? Let me tell you something. Life is too short to waste your energy on things that don't matter. It's too short to let people push your buttons, mess up your peace, and control how you feel. You got to learn how to rise above it. You got to learn how to never let anybody get you angry or bothered ever again. And trust me, once you learn this, you're going to feel so much lighter, so much freer, because the truth is, nobody can steal your peace unless you hand it to them. So sit tight, pay attention, and let me show you how to take your power back. People are going to do what they do. That's just life. You can't control what comes out of someone's mouth. You can't control how someone behaves, and you definitely can't control how they treat you. But here's what you can control: how you react to it. Because at the end of the day, how they act is about them, but how you respond is about you. And the sooner you realize this, the sooner you free yourself from letting other people dictate your emotion. Think about it. How many times have you let someone ruin your day? Maybe it was a rude comment. Maybe it was someone cutting you off in traffic. Maybe it was a coworker talking behind your back. Whatever it was, it got to you, it made you mad, it made you frustrated, and now for the next few hours, you're replaying the situation over and over in your head. You're talking to yourself like, I should have said this, I should have done that. And guess what? While you're stressing, while you're mad, that person is out there living their life, not even thinking about you. They didn't lose a second of sleep over what they did, but you let it take over your whole mood. See, the problem is that most of us take things too personally. We think every action, every word, every little thing someone does is somehow an attack on us. But here's the truth. Most people's behavior has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. That person who snapped at you, they're probably dealing with something in their own life. That person who disrespected you, they're probably miserable themselves. That driver who cut you off, they weren't thinking about you at all. They were just in a hurry. But because we make everything about us, we take offense. We let it get under our skin. But let me ask you something. Why give people that much power over you? Why let their actions, their bad attitude, their careless words mess up your peace? The moment you stop taking things personally is the moment you start gaining control. Because the truth is, how people act is a reflection of them, not you. If someone is rude, that says something about their character, not yours. If someone is angry all the time, that's their burden to carry, not yours. And if someone treats you unfairly, that's on them, not you. Now, I'm not saying you should let people walk all over you. I'm not saying you should accept disrespect. What I'm saying is, you don't have to let it bother you. You don't have to let it steal your peace. Because the reality is, when you let someone get to you, you're giving them control over your emotions. And let me tell you, nobody deserves that much control over you. The key is to step back and ask yourself, is this really worth my energy? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. It's not worth you stressing over. It's not worth you replaying it in your head. It's not worth you getting angry. The best thing you can do is let it go. Smile and keep it moving, because at the end of the day, their actions belong to them. Your reaction belongs to you. There's a powerful saying, don't let a $5 problem ruin a $1,000 day. And that's exactly what too many of us do. We let one small moment, one small irritation, one small comment ruin an entire day of peace. But what if you didn't? What if the next time someone tried to get under your skin, you just shrugged it off? What if you refused to let it bother you? Imagine how much lighter you'd feel. Imagine how much happier you'd be. Because the truth is, when you stop taking things personally, you stop being controlled by other people. You become untouchable. People can say what they want, do what they want, act how they want, but you stay unshaken. And that, my friend, is true freedom. Not everyone deserves access to your emotions. Think about that for a second. Too many of us let just anybody have the power to affect how we feel. Somebody makes a rude comment and suddenly our whole mood shifts. Somebody doesn't treat us the way we expect and now we're hurt. Somebody says something offensive and we're carrying anger in our hearts for the rest of the day. But let me ask you, why are you giving them that kind of access? See, your peace is precious. Your energy is valuable. Your time, your focus, your emotions. Those are things you should be protecting like treasure. And yet most people just give them away to anybody who comes along with a bad attitude or a reckless mouth. The truth is, not everyone deserves to be able to push your buttons. Not everyone should have the power to ruin your day. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you take your power back. Here's the thing, people will test you. That's just life. You will encounter rude people, difficult people, people who seem to go out of their way to frustrate you. Some of them do it on purpose. Some of them don't even realize they're doing it. But either way, how you respond is up to you. If you let them get to you, you're basically handing them control over your emotions. You're saying, here, take my peace, take my joy, take my energy. But why would you do that? Why would you let someone who doesn't care about your well-being have the power to dictate how you feel? There's a simple truth in life. Not everybody is worth your reaction. Some things just aren't worth your time, and some people just aren't worth your energy. That doesn't mean you're being rude. It doesn't mean you're being passive. It means you're being smart. Because when you learn how to stop reacting to every little thing, you free yourself from so much unnecessary stress. Let me put it this way. Imagine your peace is like a bank account. Every time you let someone get under your skin, it's like you're giving them money from your account. Every time you let someone's negativity mess up your mood, it's like you're handing them a withdrawal slip and saying, here, take some of my joy. Now, if you wouldn't let just anybody take money from your bank account, why would you let just anybody take from your peace? The key is learning how to be selective. Learning how to ask yourself, is this person worth my energy? Is this argument worth my peace? Is this situation worth my time? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Most of the things we get upset about aren't even that deep. Most of the things that frustrate us won't matter a week from now, let alone a year from now. But in the moment, we act like it's the end of the world. So how do you stop letting people get to you? You set boundaries. You decide that some people just don't get access to your emotions. That means you don't argue with fools. You don't waste energy on negativity. You don't entertain nonsense. If someone is trying to bait you into a reaction, you don't take the bait. If someone is constantly negative, you don't engage. You move with wisdom, not emotion. And listen, this doesn't mean you don't stand up for yourself. This doesn't mean you let people treat you however they want. It just means you don't let it affect you. You handle things with grace, not anger. You address situations with wisdom, not frustration. You keep your peace no matter what. Because the truth is, your energy is too valuable to waste on nonsense. Your joy is too precious to let just anybody take it. Your peace is too important to be sacrificed over small, temporary situations. Not everyone deserves access to your emotions. Protect your peace and watch how much better your life becomes. Peace is a choice, and it's one you have to make every single day. Too many people wake up and just react to whatever happens. They let the world, their circumstances, and other people dictate how they feel. If someone is rude to them, they're upset. If something doesn't go their way, they're frustrated. If someone does them wrong, they carry that anger all day long. But here's the thing, you don't have to live like that. You don't have to let the actions of other people determine your emotions. You can choose peace. Now, choosing peace doesn't mean life suddenly gets easy. It doesn't mean people stop testing you. It doesn't mean problems disappear. What it means is you take control of your own emotions instead of handing that control to someone else. And let me tell you, that is one of the most powerful things you can do. Because the minute you decide, no matter what happens today, I am not going to let it steal my peace, you stop being a victim of other people's negativity. You stop being controlled by circumstances. You stop giving people the power to determine your happiness. But make no mistake, peace is not automatic. It's something you have to be intentional about. Because let's be honest, it's easy to get caught up in frustration. It's easy to react when someone disrespects you. It's easy to let a bad moment turn into a bad day. That's why you have to be mindful. You have to train yourself to pause before reacting. You have to remind yourself, is this worth my energy? Because 9 times out of 10, it's not. Think about it. How many times have you let one small thing ruin an entire day? Maybe someone cut you off in traffic. Maybe a coworker made a smart comment. Maybe a family member said something hurtful. And now, instead of enjoying your day, you're replaying that situation over and over in your head. You're carrying that negativity with you like luggage. But for what? Is that person sitting around thinking about you? Probably not. So why are you giving them that space in your mind? Choosing peace means you learn how to let things go. Not because you're weak, not because you don't care, but because you value your peace more than you value being right. Because here's the truth. Some battles just aren't worth fighting. Some arguments don't need to happen. Some situations don't even deserve your response. And let me tell you something else. Choosing peace does not mean you let people walk all over you. It does not mean you accept mistreatment. What it means is you handle things with wisdom, not emotion. You address situations calmly, not angrily. Because when you allow anger or frustration to control you, you're no better than the person who tried to bring you down in the first place. But when you choose peace, when you decide, I will not let this shake me, you stay in control. There's a reason why the most powerful people in the world are the calmest ones in the room. Because calmness is strength. Anyone can get angry. Anyone can lash out. But not everyone can stay composed. Not everyone can walk away from drama. Not everyone can choose peace when everything around them is trying to disturb them. That takes discipline. That takes self-control. The truth is, when you learn how to choose peace, your life changes. You start waking up with more joy. You stop carrying unnecessary stress. You start focusing on what really matters instead of wasting time on things that don't. And the best part, you become untouchable. Because no matter what people say, no matter what happens around you, you stay at peace. And that, my friend, is a choice worth making every single day. Perspective changes everything. The way you look at situations, the way you interpret people's actions, and the way you decide to respond. It all starts in your mind. When you change your perspective, you change your reaction. And when you change your reaction, you change your entire experience of life. Too many people live their lives taking everything personally. If someone is rude to them, they assume it's an attack. If someone ignores them, they think it's disrespect. If someone doesn't treat them the way they expect, they feel hurt or offended. But here's the truth. Most of the time, it's not even about you. People's actions are a reflection of what's going on inside of them, not you. But if you don't shift your perspective, you'll spend your life reacting to things that were never meant to be personal in the first place. Think about this. Have you ever had a bad day and accidentally snapped at someone? Maybe you were stressed, tired, or overwhelmed, and you spoke harshly to a friend or family member. Now, did you mean to hurt them? Probably not. It wasn't really about them at all. It was about what you were going through in that moment. The same thing applies to other people. When someone is rude to you, it's often not about you. When someone lashes out, it's usually about their own struggles, their own frustrations, or their own pain. But if you take it personally, you turn their problem into your problem. When you shift your perspective, you realize that not everything needs your emotional energy. You stop letting little things ruin your day. You stop carrying offense over things that had nothing to do with you in the first place. Instead of thinking, why did they treat me like that? You start thinking, maybe they're going through something I don't know about. Instead of reacting with anger, you respond with understanding. And let me tell you, that alone will bring you more peace than you can imagine. Now, let's be real. Changing your perspective takes practice. It's easy to assume the worst. It's easy to feel slighted when someone doesn't treat you the way you expect. But if you train yourself to pause and reframe the situation, you'll find that most of the things you get upset about aren't even worth it. For example, let's say you text a friend and they don't reply. Now, you could think, wow, they're ignoring me, they must not care. Or you could think, maybe they're busy, maybe they have something going on. It's not a big deal. Same situation, different perspective. One brings you stress, the other brings you peace. And listen, I'm not saying you should let people treat you any kind of way. I'm not saying you should tolerate disrespect. What I'm saying is learn to see things for what they really are. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't assume the worst, because the truth is people are fighting battles you know nothing about. Some people are struggling with depression. Some people are dealing with family problems. Some people are just having a bad day. And when you realize that, it becomes a whole lot easier to let things go. Think about how much lighter your life would be if you stopped taking everything personally. Think about how much more peace you'd have if you stopped giving negative situations so much power. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing a perspective that protects your peace. And the more you practice it, the more you'll realize that most things just aren't worth your frustration. At the end of the day, you can't control how people act, but you can control how you see things. You can choose to assume the worst, or you can choose to believe the best. You can take offense, or you can let things go. You can carry stress, or you can release it. It's all about perspective. And when you master that, you master your peace. Peace comes when you accept that you can't control everything. A lot of frustration, anger, and stress come from trying to change things that are simply out of your hands. The truth is you are not in control of other people. You can't control how they act, what they say, or how they treat you. You can't control the unexpected things that happen in life, but you can control how you respond. You can't control how much power you give to things that upset you. The moment you stop trying to control everything is the moment you free yourself from unnecessary stress. Think about it. How much time do people waste getting upset about things they can't do anything about? They sit around complaining about how someone treated them. They stress over what people think about them. They get angry when things don't go their way. But none of that changes anything. Worrying doesn't fix the problem. Getting angry doesn't undo what happened. All it does is drain your energy and steal your peace. That's why learning to let go is one of the most powerful things you can do. Now, letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you ignore problems. What it means is you stop letting uncontrollable things control you. You stop letting every little inconvenience ruin your mood. You stop wasting time trying to change people who don't want to change. Instead, you focus on what you can control: your attitude, your mindset, and your peace. Because when you hold on to things you can't control, you're only hurting yourself. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. You've got somewhere to be, and now you're late. You can sit there gripping the steering wheel, cursing at the cars in front of you, getting more and more frustrated. But will that make traffic move any faster? No. Will it get you where you're going any sooner? No. All it does is raise your stress level. But if you take a deep breath and accept the situation for what it is, you'll feel a whole lot better. The traffic is out of your control, but your reaction is not. And that same principle applies to every situation in life. One of the biggest things people try to control but can't is other people. You can't make people act right. You can't force people to treat you with respect. You can't make people see your value if they don't want to. But some people spend their whole lives trying to change others, trying to fix them, trying to make them act the way they want. And when it doesn't happen, they get frustrated, angry, or hurt. But here's the truth. You are wasting your energy because people will only change when they decide to. No amount of begging, arguing, or trying to prove yourself will change a person who doesn't want to change. And once you understand that, you'll stop trying to control things that are not in your hands. Another thing that people stress over is the past. But no matter how much you think about it, no matter how much you wish you could change it, the past is done. You can't go back and fix it. You can't undo what happened. But what you can do is let it go. What you can do is decide that you're not going to let yesterday steal the joy of today. Too many people stay stuck in their past mistakes, past regrets, past hurts, and it's only hold them back. Because as long as you're looking behind you, you can't move forward. The same thing goes for worrying about the future. Yes, it's good to plan. Yes, it's good to prepare. But at the end of the day, you cannot control everything that happens tomorrow. Life is unpredictable. Things will happen that you don't expect. But stressing about the future won't change it. The best thing you can do is focus on what's in front of you right now and trust that you'll handle whatever comes your way when the time comes. So here's the key. Stop holding on to things that are out of your hands. Stop stressing over what people think of you. Stop worrying about the past. Stop trying to control every little detail of your life. Let go of the things you can't change and focus on what you can. Your attitude, your peace, your mindset, because when you stop fighting for control, you gain something even better, freedom. And that freedom allows you to live with more peace, more joy, and more clarity than ever before. Happiness is a choice, and it starts with what you focus on. Every single day you have a decision to make. Will you focus on what's wrong, or will you focus on what's right? Will you let little things steal your joy, or will you choose to rise above them? Too many people go through life waiting for happiness, thinking, I'll be happy when I get that job. I'll be happy when I make more money. I'll be happy when people treat me the way I deserve. But the truth is, if you keep waiting for happiness, you'll be waiting for happiness. Isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you create by the way you think, by the way you react, and by the way you choose to see the world. You can't always control your circumstances, but you can always control your mindset. You can't always control how people act, but you can control how much power you give them over your emotion. And if you train yourself to focus on the good, you'll find that happiness isn't about what you have, it's about how you see what you have. Think about this. Two people can go through the exact same situation, but one will be miserable and the other will be at peace. Why? Because it's not the situation that determines your happiness. It's your perspective. Some people wake up every morning complaining. They complain about their job, their family, the weather, their bills. They focus on everything that's wrong, and then they wonder why they feel stressed and unhappy all the time. Meanwhile, someone else wakes up and says, I'm thankful for another day. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I appreciate the little things in life. And even if they face struggles, they handle them with a different attitude. Happiness is about shifting your focus. Instead of getting mad at the one person who was rude to you today, think about the 5 people who were kind. Instead of stressing over the things you don't have, think about everything you do have. Instead of dwelling on what's going wrong, start recognizing what's going right. That doesn't mean you ignore problems. It just means you stop giving them all your energy. Because what you focus on grows. If you focus on negativity, you'll always find more reasons to be upset. But if you focus on gratitude, you'll always find more reasons to be happy. One of the biggest reasons people stay bothered and frustrated is because they expect perfection from life. They expect people to always treat them right. They expect everything to go smoothly all the time. But life doesn't work like that. People are flawed. Situations will challenge you. Things won't always go as planned. But instead of letting that ruin your mood, accept it for what it is. If someone cuts you off in traffic, let it go. It's not worth your peace. If someone says something negative about you, ignore it. It's not worth your energy. If something goes wrong in your day, adjust your mindset, because at the end of the day, it's your reaction that determines whether it ruins your mood or not. One of the best things you can do is learn to laugh things off. Some people get angry over the smallest things. They let every little inconvenience ruin their whole day. But the truth is, most things aren't as serious as they seem. If you spill coffee on your shirt, laugh and keep it moving. If someone gives you attitude, shake it off and go about your business. Life is too short to stay mad over things that don't matter in the long run. And here's something else. You got to surround yourself with positive energy. If you're always around negative people, complaining people, people who find a problem in every solution, then guess what? That negativity is going to rub off on you. But if you make a habit of being around people who lift you up, who encourage you, who focus on solutions instead of problems, your whole mindset will start to shift. Your happiness isn't just about you. It's also about who you let into your space. At the end of the day, you get to decide what kind of life you want to live. You can be the person who gets mad at everything, who complains about everything, who is always waiting for happiness to show up. Or you can be the person who takes control of your mindset, who finds the good in every situation, who refuses to let small things ruin their peace. Happiness is in your hands. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you choose to respond.